Alright you guys, so we're back in the car doing another vlog today. Got the mic duct taped or taped to my shirt because the little clip for it broke and it was making like a little ringy sound when I went over bumps because this car is pretty rough when I was contacting the metal, so I just to tape it. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better this time. We don't get those little audio quality things. That was annoying. But today's topic, I actually wanted to talk about comparing my Civic to this Miata. Now I've owned this car for a year now, like my recent video, and I also owned the Civic for about a year, I think, maybe more like 9 months. But now it's like a good comparison. I've daily driven both of them, so I want to make a video comparing both of them. And what got me thinking about this was my new shameless plug for my Driving Purity Instagram page. You guys want to go ahead and follow it. Posted a picture of my Civic on there. It just got me thinking about comparing the two. So today we're going to talk about that, compare them. So first things first, just compare the basics of both cars. My Civic was a 1.5 liter single overhead cam. It was a 1995 Honda Civic Hatchback, which is the EH2 technically is the chassis code. So that made about 106 horsepower and like 105 torque, I believe, were the specs on it. And that was just stock with like a short ram intake, just that bolt on, and that's it. And this car is a 1991 Mazda Miata with the 1.6 liter dual overhead cam, and it makes about 116 horsepower and 110 torque, I believe. So this car is a little bit more power, and I believe they're around the same weight. This car might be maybe a little bit lighter, like 50 pounds lighter or something like that. I would have to look that up exactly, but that's not what's important here. So they're pretty much, same power. And that car, the Civic, is a front wheel drive, and this car is a rear wheel drive. Now that is like the biggest difference to me, because the Civic, like, you can have fun in it. It's fun, like, handling and everything, but like when it rains in this car and you can just do donuts in empty spaces, like a big lot, that is like the funnest thing ever. I was doing donuts the other day, and it's just like the smile on your face is so crazy. That's just something you can't really get in a front wheel drive. Even though this car is low power, like a lot of people are like, oh, you can't even hoon it because it's 1.6 liter, so how are you even gonna hoon something that's rear wheel drive with that much power? Trust me, you can. It's just like you just gotta send it, rev it up. And obviously they're not the craziest donuts, like burnouts or anything, but it's still super fun. Like the smile on your face just like says it all after you do something like that. So rear wheel drive, definitely the biggest factor. That's a plus for this car over the Civic. As for speed, this car might be a little bit faster. I think, like I said, it has like 10 more horsepower, and they're around the same weight. So this car might be a little bit faster. The aerodynamics on this car are not the best, but it feels faster in this car because how small it is, like the cockpit type thing. I don't know the exact specifics on whether or not this one's faster. I'll look up the 0 to 60 times and put them right here, but I think this one might be slightly faster, just like a little bit. They're both slow, by the way. They're both like over 8 seconds, 0 to 60 times, so it's nothing to like even really compare. It doesn't really matter. They're both slow as hell. But I would definitely choose this one for speed. I guess it just feels faster. I like the cockpit feel. Now, as for MPG, miles per gallon, this car loses flat out. The Civic, I used to get like probably 36 average. This one I probably get like 24 average. So Civic, it's a sports car, but still, MPG, I'm a college student, that matters. So I do miss the MPG on the Civic, getting 35, you fill it up and it lasts forever. They're both like 10-gallon tanks. So I do miss like having those like 350-mile tanks on the Civic. This one you only get like 240. But I guess that's the price you pay. This car's a lot more fun. And so Civic MPG goes to the Civic. As for storage, like passengers, all the luggage you can fit and everything, obvious win to the Civic. I mean, this is a 2-seater sports car, convertible. Tiny little trunk. The Civic, the hatchback, the trunk was huge. Like, I remember I fit like a Christmas tree in there, like a whole thing. I know you guys with Miatas put down the top and put a Christmas tree in there, but I mean, I literally just threw it in the back with the back seats down, and I mean, you can't beat that. You can fit so much luggage in there. I can fit car parts. Like, if I want to get car parts now, I kind of got to use my girlfriend's car and go grab the car parts, so that's kind of annoying. But so storage, and the Civic could also fit 5 people. This one's 2. Clear winner to the Civic when it comes to storage. But for me personally, I actually like having these 2 seats. Like, it makes like a super fun car for me and my girlfriend to go cruise. We can go like to the store, like dates and stuff, to the mall and whatnot, and it's just cool, like just us two. It's a really fun, just roadster, that's the point of this car. But at the end of the day, there's some situations where you want to carry people, so definitely the Civic would have to win that one. As for reliability comparing the two, I'd have to give a slight edge to the Civic. I mean, it might just be my strand of luck, like this car's broken a little bit more than the Civic, but there's plenty of people that say their Miatas have never broken. I mean, like Gearhead's Garage, he commented in his experience the Miatas were just as reliable. I mean, I take his word because he's been doing this stuff for a long time. He's got a lot of knowledge on this stuff. So I think that Miatas can be just as reliable, but my personal experience, the Civic was a little bit more reliable. Not that like anything major broke on this car yet, but then again, we are talking about really old cars, so previous owners and whatnot, this is just it's so open. There's so many variables, you know what I mean? But in the end of the day, Honda Civic was a little bit easier to work on too because it was front wheel drive, so you could like get to everything easy. This car, you know, like if you had to change the oil pan, you'd have to like drop the subframe a little and stuff like that. And that's just something that might be a little bit easier to work on the Civic. This car is still really easy to work on, but I think the Civic is just slightly a little bit better. So reliability, I'd have to give it a slight edge to the Civic. Now, another topic that's not as big of a deal is kind of parts availability. There's both like mass-produced cars, so it's lots of parts. But like when I used to go to the junkyard for the Civic, there'd be so many Civics. The Miata is more like 3 at my local junkyard, so parts can be a little bit hard to find. The Civic, it was like really easy, and like every AutoZone had everything in stock pretty much. They do a lot for Miatas obviously too, but you know, once again, slight edge to the Civic on parts availability, and the pages are just a little bit bigger because and like with Civics, like the Integra parts fit, like all these different parts fit. It's just like a big, you know, pile of parts that are all interchangeable, which is one really cool thing about the Honda game, you know. Everything fits on different cars, like DC2s, you could use like the same subframe braces as an EG hatch, just little things like that that make parts a little bit easier to find. Not that they're hard to find for this car, but just a little thing. And there's like more JDM knickknacks, I feel like, for the Civic game, the Honda game. The Miata obviously has some with the Unos in Japan, so there's some little things, but I just feel like the Civic has a lot more little like certain style seats with like different cloth materials that are like little JDM knickknacks that other people don't have that you can get, and it's really cool, like the center consoles and whatnot. That was one really cool thing I'd have to say for the Civics. You know, parts availability and cool parts that are available, definitely going to the Civic and the Honda game. Let's get a little pull going on here for you guys. Third gear, bringing it up to 50 miles an hour. So slow, but so fun. Got a little twisty road up here, so we're just gonna have a little bit of fun. But for overall fun factor, definite edge to the Miata. This is like what I think overall, definite edge to the Miata. Like I said before, it's got the 1.6 dual cam, which is, you know, a little bit faster, not that big of a deal. But the rear wheel drive just makes it so much more fun. I know it doesn't have that much power, so you can't like full drift. Well, I mean, you could definitely drift it. But you aren't going to be Formula Drift status, you know, whipping around corners, holding angles and everything. You know, well, the diff and stuff like that, you could be drifting it. But just overall, like, stock fun factor, this rear-wheel drive just makes it. You know, if the Civic was rear-wheel drive, it'd be a different story. But comparing rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive, now that I've owned a rear-wheel drive, it's just a clear edge to this. I mean, just like doing donuts is like the most fun thing ever. It makes me want like every car to be rear-wheel drive now. And I just feel like those front-wheel drive cars are lacking something. Not that they're slow, it's just that like at the end of the day, I feel that the rear-wheel drive is just going to give you way more fun for your money. Alright you guys, so I'm back on the vlog camera. The GoPro actually ended up dying while I was finishing up the last talking about it. But basically what I said in the end is if I had a choice of either my Miata or my Civic, I could have either one. Even at this point in time, if I could bring back the Civic, definitely take the Miata. Like I said, rear-wheel drive, super fun. You know, sports car, 2-seater. So I definitely take the Miata over the Civic, although there's some things I do miss about the Civic, like I talked about earlier. I just take the Miata, I like it way more. But if you guys like these vlogs, just let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas for some other cooler vlog topics I could talk about. I was going to make a junkyard video this weekend for this week, but we had crazy rain in San Diego, so the junkyard would have been so muddy and not really worth going or making a video. So I'm going to save that for this weekend. Hopefully it dries up. We can get a ton of rain in Southern California, which is awesome because we need rain here. You know, it's a drought. Still got to conserve water though, even though we have all this rain, because it probably won't come back for a while. But so let me know if you guys have any video ideas, and drop a like if you did enjoy. Thank you guys if you did make it this far. And once again, check out Driving Purity on Instagram. I'll put it right here. And thank you guys for watching.